One of the things that this pandemic revealed is God's loving image through so many individuals and groups as they stepped out sacrificially and practically showed love to strangers. I'm sure you know some of them, and most likely you may have been one of them. Let me introduce you to some unsung heroes who showed love to migrant laborers who were total strangers to them. Meet my schoolmate Sunil Chandalia of Jaipur. Sunil rented a mini truck which his two drivers used to give rides to exhausted migrant laborers and their families who were walking on the Jaipur highways. Then there's Ravi Shankar, my classmate from MCC, who was involved in providing dry rations at a slum resettlement in North Chennai. My former Andhra Bank colleague and dear friend Siddharth Shetty went to the poorer quarters of Bangalore distributing face masks to the vulnerable people there. And finally, Ruben Khale, my spiritual son and the youth group he mentors in St. Mary's Church, Pune, helped to lodge stranded laborers and their families in a government school, then booked their train tickets and sent them home. All of them reflected the image of God they are made in. They have been generous with their time and treasure as many others, and probably you too. But here's a thought that may not apply to all of us, but definitely to most of us. Why does it take a 9/11 or a COVID-19 or some kind of disaster for the majority of us to reveal such sacrificial love? Why does it lie inactive when things are normal? Why are we so inconsistent in our loving and caring of others? Jesus once said, "There's no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friends." Very true. But equally, don't you think it would be lovely to display our love, as the Apostle Paul so beautifully said, as living sacrifices? That could be our daily act of worship and obedience to the great command of loving God and our neighbor. How do we do this? There are many ways to do that, but let me offer a way that I do it. I'm sure each of you can customize it for yourself. I got this idea when I was reflecting on Jesus' last command to his disciples before he ascended to heaven. He said, "Go make disciples." Have you ever wondered about this? Why did Jesus say that? Jesus could have easily said, "Go be disciples." But he did not. I believe because you can't make disciples unless you are first one. Jesus was moving us to the next level. In addition, he was giving us a simple way to obey the great command. While being a disciple, we first love God. And then by making them disciples, we love them as our neighbors. Let me make this practical and personal. I've applied this insight both for the Great Commission and importantly, even beyond it. I currently am in leadership positions at work, church, and in volunteer organizations. I not only take my leadership role seriously, but intentionally groom others to be able to easily replace me. In other words, I'm both a leader and a leader maker at the same time. Another example is my friend Togar, who's a trainer who, with a network of his friends, raised resources and then used his training skills and technology to provide new skills to underprivileged children in Indonesia. Each of us has something of value to offer others. It's about multiplying our gifts and talents by growing it in others. True success means having successors. Think about it. Success means having successors. Of course, our greatest success and our joy as makers is when we see those we groom grow and achieve things far beyond what we have done. I've repeatedly had the pleasure of seeing that happen. Here's a suggestion. Complete the sentence by filling the blanks with any role you are doing either at home or at work or in the community. Something where you can offer to equip and build others who are interested in that activity. For example, fill the blanks with the word singer, nurse, designer, pastor, mother, etc. So, how can I be more than just a mother but become a mother maker? How can I become not be just a pastor but be a pastor maker? Keeping this commitment will involve consistent sacrifices of time, money, and energy. But let's find encouragement in Paul's words in Acts 20:35 that it's more blessed to give than to receive. Let's take that small first step and become intentional makers. Remember that within a tiny apple seed lies the potential of the entire apple orchard, not just the apple. Your tiny step out has the potential to impact at least a little part of the globe you inhabit, and it is worth it. It may grow even beyond that. May God bless us as we become intentional makers.